So guys, the VBS scandal is back, and it looks like we have a new culprit by the name of Thembi Similane. If you don't know who Thembi Similane is, she is the former mayor of Polokwane, and now she serves as the justice minister under the government of national unity. How ironic that Ramaphosa appointed this woman to be the justice minister, whereas this woman has scandals over her head. So according to News 24, President Ramaphosa has asked the justice minister Thembi Similane to explain to him her involvement in the VBS corruption scandal. While she was the mayor of Polokwane, Similane took a loan from a company that brokered a deal between the municipality and VBS Bank. Several political parties and civil society organizations expressed concern about an apparent conflict of interest with the justice minister who oversees the NPA being embroiled in the VBS corruption scandal. So guys, you can see here the paragraph 1, it says that President Ramaphosa has requested a detailed briefing from the Justice Minister Thembi Similane over her involvement in the VBS scandal. You know guys, I don't know, maybe it's me, but as the citizen of this country, I do not appreciate the fact that Ramaphosa is almost as if he's clueless about anything that is happening in the country. How is it possible that Ramaphosa didn't know that this woman has a corruption scandal over her head, to a point where Ramaphosa would appoint this lady as the justice minister, the same justice minister that oversees the NPA? How is it possible that the president, the whole president, didn't have a clue that this woman is one of the people that was involved in the corruption scandal of VBS? How is it possible? I mean, everyone was talking about this lady at some point. I remember even the likes of Julius Malema. Even the likes of Julius Malema, they were talking about this lady and how she played a role into the collapse of VBS.
Again, Polokwane municipality put money in VBS. None of you has asked the question who was the mayor when Polokwane was putting money in VBS. The mayor was Minister of Justice at that time. Thank you. Again,
so this is one, like guys, this is exactly what I say that it doesn't sit well with me. The fact that Ramaphosa, as the president of the country, is now asking for a detailed briefing from Thembi Similane, the justice minister, to explain to him her involvement in the VBS scandal. So how is it possible that Ramaphosa could appoint someone to be the justice minister, whereas there is a corruption scandal that is lurking over the head of this woman? How is it possible? I mean, don't you find it outrageous that the president would actually appoint someone who has corruption scandals as the justice minister? You have corruption scandals and you are appointed as the justice minister. It is outrageous, for the lack of better words. It's insane that someone like that would actually be appointed. But unfortunately, here we are.
On Monday, we published the results of a joint investigation between News 24 and Daily Maverick, revealing that Justice Minister Thembi Similane took a 575,000 rand loan from the company of a man now part of the VBS corruption trial. Gundo Wealth Solutions loaned Similane 575,000 rand to buy a coffee shop in Sandton. She claims that the loan...
So the Polokwane municipality, it puts money into VBS. It illegally deposits money into VBS, and the mayor of the same municipality comes back to ask for a loan.
was paid back, but when we asked her to present proof of those payments or a loan agreement, she refused to provide them. This story is important because, as Justice Minister, Similane has direct oversight over the National Prosecuting Authority, the same National Prosecuting Authority that is pursuing charges against more than a dozen people and companies in the 2 billion rand VBS corruption trial. At the time Similane took the loan, she was the mayor of Polokwane municipality. Gundo Wealth Solutions, owned by Ralium Razwenane, had a 3-year contract with Polokwane for investment brokerage services. The only investments Gundo brokered were with VBS. VBS, and the municipality put in a total of 349 million rand.
Guys, yo. So this woman being a justice minister, she's the justice minister, she oversees the NPA, the same NPA that is investigating this corruption scandal. I mean, it's clear as day that the ANC comrades will be cleared. It's clear as day that there will be no justice for the people of Polokwane. There will be no justice for those poor citizens that were lied into depositing their money into VBS. There will be no justice for those people. Because right now, you have someone as the justice minister, and she's also involved into the corruption of VBS.
This collaborative investigation between Daily Maverick and News 24 have unearthed a possible corrupt transaction with a person that is now the Minister of Justice.
I, Tembisile Pumelele Smelane, swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and will obey, respect, and uphold the Constitution and all the laws of the Republic. And I undertake to hold my office as Minister with honor and dignity.
I mean, like, guys, all of those things that they say whenever they have been appointed as ministers, as the parliamentarians, it means nothing. It means nothing to stand there and to say that you swear to serve the people of this country. You swear to work hard, to like all of those things, they mean nothing. They mean nothing. How many ministers were actually appointed? How many corrupt ministers were actually appointed? Now, it's not even 5 months into the GNU, and this woman has been exposed. She has been exposed. And you can see, there she is with the president, the deputy president, the chief justice, talking about, I'm going to serve the people of this country. What are you going to serve the people of this country? You are only there to actually protect your own comrades. This is why you are there. This is why you are there. Because when you think about it, you know that in the whole VBS scandal, the ANC is the one that actually took a lot of money from VBS. So I find it outrageous that President Ramaphosa would actually pretend like he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything about this woman's potential involvement into the corruption scandal of VBS. So now Ramaphosa is going to appoint this woman, the same woman who was involved in VBS, to be the justice minister so that the ANC comrades can be cleared. I think it's clear right now. I think it's clear.
So help me God.
This is an interesting one. It's a collaboration between Daily Maverick and News 24. One of those rare moments where you realize that another colleague of yours have a different piece of the puzzle than you do, and together you have the entire story. And this is what happened. My friend Carl Cowan at News 24 and I realized that we could build a story with the different puzzle pieces that we have. The background here is that in September and October 2016, VBS paid a total of 1.66 million rand in kickbacks to Haliom Razwanani, and he was one of those central people to the entire VBS scam. Razwanani was one of the central figures in the bank's collapse, as found by investigator Mutao and Worksman's report. Razwanani was one of the commission's agents that solicited bribes, said Mutao and Worksman's, from the municipalities to be paid into VBS Mutual Bank. Very large investments that was always followed by a kickback, and then it would be followed by a disbursement of part of that kickback to various municipal officials. And Razwanani used his company Gundo Wealth Solutions.
I mean, guys, how insane that this person, Razwanani, would actually name his company Gundo Wealth Solutions, whereas he didn't even work for his own wealth. He stole from the poor citizens of this country. And he has the audacity to name his company Gundo Wealth Solution as if he has worked for his wealth. He didn't work for his wealth. He didn't work for his wealth. He stole from the poor citizens of this country.
And it seems from the various documents that we have here, which includes bank statements, investigative reports, and indictments drafted by the National Prosecuting Authority, that this is what happened in this case as well. This story is important because at the time, Thembi Simelane was the mayor of Polokwane. In the meantime, this year, she was appointed as the Minister of Justice. In this portfolio, Simelane has direct oversight of the National Prosecuting Authority that has, for the past 4 years, investigated and led prosecutions of more than a dozen VBS managers and various municipal officials, and part of law enforcement's sprawling investigations into the collapse of the bank. The essence of the story is that in the same weeks, Polokwane municipality unlawfully invested 349 million rand in a series of transactions with VBS Mutual Bank. Its mayor, Thembi Simelane, took a 575,600 rand commercial loan from the company that brokered this investment. Now, this loan Simelane used to buy a coffee shop in 2 transactions in October 2016. The payments appeared to be linked to kickbacks received in exchange for large investments by Polokwane municipality and VBS.
Of course, it is not a loan. It is a kickback. It is a kickback. It is not a loan.
Yes. Raliom Razwanani stands accused of at least 13 counts of contravening anti-corruption legislation in South Africa. At least 2 of those counts relate specifically to the deal that I'm about to explain to you. The deal is very interesting. It doesn't touch Simelane through all the stages of the money flowing through until in the end, Simelane takes ownership of the coffee shop. So this is how the deal happened. Polokwane municipality, on the back of Gundo Wealth brokering this deal, invests first 50 million rand and then 80 million rand into VBS Mutual Bank. VBS Mutual Bank then pays commissions, which was termed as kickbacks and unlawful by the Mutau and Worksman's investigation. So they pay 2 kickbacks to Raliom Razwanani's company Gundo Wealth. Those kickbacks are 755,000 rand, 314 rand, and the second one would be 2 payments totaling 912,000 rand. Both of these payments were made in October 2016. From there, Razwanani then sent 300,000 rand to a company called Recovert. Now, Recovert was the owner of Sylvana's coffee shop, situated in the Fredman Towers in Sandton. The second payment was 275,600 rand, also paid from Gundo to Recovert, and the total payment for the coffee shop was then 575,600 rand. And this is the commercial loan that Simelane claims she's received from Gundo. Documents, indictments, and bank statements that we have suggest that the 2 transactions involving Simelane's coffee shop, Sylvana's, is part of this series of corrupt kickback payments. We sent 3 sets of questions to the Minister of Justice. Now, she offered assurances of her commitment to the practice of ethical leadership and welcomed any legitimate scrutiny into her affairs, including her private business affairs. The problem with that is that when we started asking very pointed questions, we asked for dates, we asked for why did this happen, we asked for explain to us how you were connected with Gundo, and while Gundo was a service provider to your municipality, and this is important to understand, while Gundo was a service provider to the municipality where she held enormous power, and she then insisted that she legitimately appointed Gundo as her own service provider, she did point out to us that Gundo was a financial advisor registered with the FSP. Now that is a problem because Gundo was not registered as a credit provider. So legitimately, Gundo was not allowed to offer loans to the public. And in terms of the National Credit Act, and we checked this with a lawyer specializing in credit and loans and insurance, is that Gundo had no legitimate expectation that he would ever be paid back the more than R500,000 loan. And it seemed to us that there was severe conflict of interest, and we don't understand the terms of the loan agreement. Can you please show us this loan agreement plus the repayments that you claim was made? She went silent. The minister didn't refuse to answer these questions, but she did not answer them, implicitly then suggesting that she would not be forthcoming with the information. On the minister's version, the loan is a commercial loan agreement, completely legitimate and completely above board, in her words. The minister has strongly denied any wrongdoing. She strongly denied having been involved in corrupt deals with VBS Mutual Bank. She did unfortunately completely skip over explaining in detail with dates and with documents and with evidence that the loan was legitimate as she claims it was, and that it was paid back as she claimed it was.
Oh. Man, the ANC doesn't learn, man. The ANC never learns. And I don't think that the ANC will ever learn. The ANC, it will never learn. The ANC went from 57% to 40% because of this kind of stuff. But no, they still proceed to appoint the same people that the public is complaining about. They keep appointing these people that are giving them a bad name. Not so long ago, recently, we were talking about the new mayor of Johannesburg after he suggested that the city should hire documented foreign nationals to actually fight crime in Johannesburg. Now we are talking about the ANC Minister of Justice. Like, these people do not learn. What is it going to take for the ANC to actually give us, the people that we actually deserve as the people of this country? When are they going to give us the ministers that we deserve as the people of this country? When is the ANC going to give South Africans the mayors that are competent and the mayors that the people of this country actually deserves? But no, the ANC continues to do the same thing over and over again. I don't see how the ANC is going to learn. Clearly, they didn't learn from this 40% that they got in the elections. They didn't learn anything from this 40% that they got in the elections. They still continue to appoint these people that are giving the ANC a bad name. They still they still continue to do the same thing. It's almost as if these people have won the elections. The way they carry on, you would actually swear that the ANC has actually won the elections. You would swear that they have won the elections, but they lost the elections. And instead of actually sitting down and doing a proper introspection and saying, guys, maybe we need to turn things around. Maybe we need to turn things around so that the people of this country can start respecting us. The people of this country can start trusting us. No, the ANC just continues where they left off. They just continues where they left off. So right now, what is the excuse that Ramaphosa is going to come up with? That I didn't know that this woman was involved into the collapse of VBS? Is Ramaphosa going to tell South Africans that I didn't know about the corruption history of this woman that I have appointed to be the justice minister? What is going to be Ramaphosa's excuse? What is it going to be his excuse? Like, it is shameful, man. As the president of the country, like I said, as the president of this country, man, it is shameful to know, like, he has to know about this VBS scandal and about which municipality deposited money and who was the mayor in which municipality that actually deposited money into VBS. He has to know. He has to know, but he still continued to put this woman as the justice minister. And for some reason, they keep saying that, nah, things are going to get better. Things are going to get better there by the NPA. You can see that things are not going to get better. It's clear as day that things are not going to get better. They are not. They didn't learn anything. They didn't learn anything. And I hope that South Africans are going to remember all of these things when we go to the polls again in 26. I hope that South Africans are going to remember all of these things so that by 2029 we can maybe close the chapter of the ANC and send them home. And send them home. It's enough. It's enough. At this point, it is enough. It is enough. Guys, man, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Man, these people.